Assalamualaikum and hi to the lecturer and to my fellow friends. Me and my group members present about ethical issues on FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad. So I will proceed to my part, which is 1.0 executive summary. In this report, we can identify and obtain information about FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad in this report. The first one is the specific point of how the company was created, as well as corporate difficulties such as how ethical issues affect their organizations and how they manage their business while dealing with challenges. However, we believe that regulatory action is needed to improve the level of ethical practice disclosure by Malaysian publicly traded corporation like FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad. For example, at one of FGV sites in West Kalimantan, a local community has encouraged on a high conservation value inland. So, in this report, we get a look at a few issues that may have an impact on FGV's image, as well as a lesson in ethical issues from FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad. That's all from me, so I will pass this presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi Dr. Jauhria, I'm Durgamal Ramakrishnan and my metric number is 271892. Now I would like to continue with case summary. Basically, FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad is set up in 2007. Malaysian Palm Oil and Elastic Maker Felda Global Venture Holding is a Malaysia's thriving worldwide agribusiness and the world's biggest marker of raw palm oil. The company likewise delivers elastic, sugar, soybean, and canola items just as an oleochemical. So, being the worldwide business on the planet for the most part get a few moral issues that dealing with by the organization. There are few moral issues that we talk about in this report and involve our perspective how the organization deal with the moral issues. The issues that look by FGV will be FGV was blamed for work misuse and basic freedoms infringed by the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, which is known as RSPO. Besides that, staff cannot adaptively and professionally deal with the beginning on of the moral issues on FGV. These moral issues should be as the basic answer for address it. In addition, FGV additional conference exchanging misfortune halt FGV into the red that the untrusted issues among board of directors. To wrap things up, progressing voluntarily over the land rent understanding, which is LLA among Felda and FGV Holding Berhad, are truly influencing the market view of FGV. So, in this case study, we will talk about to track down the countable arrangement. Besides that, in this study also, we will give some suggestion how the problem can be handled by FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad in future. That's all from me. Thank you and take care, Doctor.
Hi, my name is San Ipe and metric number is 271971. I will continue to present about issue in FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad. The first issue is false, unethical labor practice. Based on guidelines that warranted Malaysian and global parenting legal guidelines, the sectoral verification framework of the palm oil industry submitted FGV Holding Berhad for control measure and other dishonest work training. FGV issued a new letter and state that their inspection include unrestricted test visits to 3 FGV houses and flowers has been determined that the organization has all of them. It is for restricted work as an action performance in the process of human management. FGV Holding Syndrome Berhad to conduct legal and operational assessment of its gift require behavior in order to comply with law around the worldwide laws. The latter recording some of the detailed breaches content that FGV neglected to guarantee a valid commercial enterprise conduct indicated that the installment and operating condition must be offered to the public consistent of those who register with the assistance of employee. Justice. Justice is the concept of properly arranging things and people in society. It's a topic of content, thought, and debate in the history of philosophy, law, and theology. Fairness is a social standard of measuring the development of civilization in a country and societies. For instance, NGO responded to our complaint on behalf of the US government and demand that all FGV, palm oil, and its derivatives enter the United States immediately. The moral assumption they use for dynamic rotors such as deontology, utilitarianism, rights, and temperance guide them to achieve the greatness morally correct intention in order to comply with the provision of moral contracts themselves. Next is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism refers to the idea of understanding of normative ethics that evaluate actions. There are two types of utilitarianism, which is act utilitarianism and rule utilitarianism. Act utilitarianism is regarding the consequences of an action, whether not morally or otherwise, while rule utilitarianism is based on the rules. For example, FGV get the profit with the proceeds from forced labor and benefit the majority regardless of any personal emotion, while FGV upgrade housing facility for its employee by building the new residences and respect the right of employee to obtain healthcare for outpatient care and unlimited provision for the inpatient treatments. Rights. Right is the power that the law gives people to realize the interests and citizens should enjoy the right and interests. For example, palm oil is banned by Customs and Border Protection (CBP) from being imported into United States due to the issue of forced labor on employee complaint. FGV also practice respect of human rights as an ongoing effort to cooperate with the Supplier Code of Conduct (SCOC) to outline principles and standards related to sustainability, business ethics and integrity, safety, health, and the environment and labor that our supplier. Last is possible solution. The possible solution to solve the problem that encountered by FGV is to coordinate movement through FGV. It can lead the FGV to formulate and implement the Hans overall ethical code of the enterprise to make attention arrangement for the clear requirement and assumption of the ethical code. In addition, FGV need to pay serious attention to any recruitment of a new employee with respect for human rights and adopting ethical practice in order to release employee. That's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi everyone, my name is Dobby Ting. My matching number is 272166. The organization found out their operations not effectively and efficiently managed. In 2017, the CEO of FGV, Zakaria Arshad, was told to take an immediate leave of absence because a subsidiary of FGV is investigating certain transactions. Besides the CEO, CFO, FGV Trading Chief Executive Officer, and also the Lima Senior General Manager have also been suspended. When the government asked for internal audits in the company's questions by the journalists, the president of the FGV seems to be defending himself as well as the employees of their management. According to the report, CEO Zakaria was suspended after rejecting ISA's resignation order on suspicion of corruption in the Lima Oil Products loan agreements with Dubai-based Safitex Trading LLC. This issue occurs between upper-level management, the main management in an organization. This issue occurred because the upper-level management of FGV break the law and did not follow the rules of ethical code. The ethical code is organizations adopt to help members understand the difference between right and wrong and apply this understanding to decision making. Business ethics is one of the examples of ethical code. People who are doing business must always apply the ethical code in doing decision making to avoid any mistake happen. For justice, in this issue, the upper level management is practicing unethical behavior because they are trying to run over the current crisis to prevent themselves from justice. For example, the president of the FGV seems to be defending himself as well as the employees of their management. When the government asked for internal audits in the companies, questioned by the journalist, Chakalia, the CEO of FGV, and Aisa, the chairperson of FGV, both of them emphasized that they did not do anything wrong when one of the UMNO Supreme Council members asked them to resign over the current crisis. For the possible solutions, the possible solution is the management must practice the correct dimensioning of the personnel requirements. Upper level management should be audited by every person. The FGV company must hire a professional external auditor to analyze the administrative area. Besides that, all the employees from FGV Holding Sdn Bhd must keep practicing the ethical code in their operation. All employees need to know the importance of practicing the ethical code and the impact of not following the ethical code in an organization to avoid the same issues happen again. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi to all of you. My name is Nur Shafika Aina binti Khalid and my metric number is 271900. Okay, so today I will present about the conclusion of this report. On this ethical case, we have emphasized on the right, wrong and fair in FGV ethics. In our view, FGV should focus more on ethical issues arising in the commercial world. At a time change, we are going through the value of people changing. What managers and others take for granted now is not the real answer for the business ethics, it's how they conduct their business. The functions of human resources is to address various ethical challenges. It deal directly with people employed by the company. They must not prosecute, encourage or apply coercion to obtain unethical behavior in their relationship with others such as customers, suppliers or employees. In the future, there will be many problems that will arise from poverty, corruption, and the worst is when they no longer respect the nature while dealing in Okay, next we will move to the reflection of ethical issues on FGV. In our view, we learned a lot of lessons on how to handle or resolve ethical issues within the company. First, we think FGV must require all employees to read and sign the corporate code of ethics. This may seem like a simple basic of rules, but just having code is not enough. This is due to make sure employees know the code and follow it. Secondly, the discussion of how to resolve or how to solve the problem fairly. FGV needs to talk to the employees if a case occurs within their employees. Business ethics always been portrayed as a matter of resolving conflict in which one option seems to be the obvious choice. So that's all for me and thanks for watching.